2-1. Well, let's just keep it right here, Billy, since we're trying to get everybody caught up in the game. So it's 2-1. Waves in front of the Gold Panthers. And
so you survived last night, did you?
I survived the Midnight Sun game. Yeah, it was such a quick game last night, Billy.
I went back to watch and listen to your Panthervision broadcast, and I turned on. It was in the 8th inning. I thought, oh my goodness, they're really moving in quick speed.
Yeah,
in fact, I thought maybe you wouldn't get to midnight before the game was over.
We were saying that up here between innings. Raleigh and I were looking at each other going, this game is moving too fast. We're going to have to slow this game down somehow, play longer music between innings. It just ripped by, which was a strange feeling because the day before we played 2 7-inning games. It took 6 hours. The first game took a full 3 hours to play 7 innings. And then
I was thinking you'd have a pitcher that retired about 14 in a row and have to have the pitching coach go out just to stall for time.
Yeah. And that was the thing last night, Billy. Both of those starting pitchers, Alex Vesia for the Gold Panthers, Kevin Palm for the Waves, strike, strike, strike. And we just haven't seen a lot of that this season where both pitchers are just throwing strikes. Now, a lot of guys are putting the ball in play, too. And the Waves getting that win as the Panthers lose the Midnight Sun game. It's a rarity. It was my 8th Midnight Sun game. I've never seen the Gold Panthers lose in the Classic. And now the Waves have done it 2 times in the past 10 years to the Gold Panthers. And Mike Studer, a Fairbankson who graduated from high school here in Fairbanks, runs the Waves. And he is spoiling the party here for the locals.
But it goes all the way back to 1992 since they had lost to a team other than the Waves?
Exactly, yeah. 92, the Panthers lost to the Victor Valley, California Mets, and then didn't lose again until 2007 when the Waves came here and won. And then the Waves do it again last night. The Panthers just couldn't get the big base hit last night. They were 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. This one is lifted high off the bat of Ty Coring. Drifting back in center field is Stewart, and he will make the catch. Coring is out number 1. Let me go through the batting orders while we have a chance since we missed that at the outset. Now for the Gold Panthers here, Mitch Berryhill, Paul Kuntz, Nick Ames, Tyler Heinrichs in the cleanup spot. Ty Coring, the designated hitter, just flew out. Parker Cormack catching and batting 6th. And the bottom 3 in the Panther batting order, third baseman J.T. Arruda, shortstop Jordan Ross, and left fielder Rafe Chomet. And we'll give you the Waves when they come up back up to bat in the 3rd inning. And now Parker Cormack, the batter. And what a spectacle the Midnight Sun game is, though, Billy. I mean, it's a memorable night. It's a lot of fun. A packed house, over 3,500 fans. It's just this unique, magical, if you will, event that can't take place anywhere else in the world.
And it appeared you had fairly good weather because the last couple of years had been overcast, and I thought to myself, my goodness, I realize it's a Midnight Sun game, but it's getting a little dangerous out there. Seems to be just a tad dark. But last night it appeared that no one was really having trouble picking up the ball.
It was such a beautiful night last night. Clear skies. And we, talked to the coaches after the game, and it was their first Midnight Sun game, and they said, it was getting a little dark out there. And I said, well, this was excellent compared to some years, including last year. We had rain and low-hanging clouds all day and night. It was a tough one last year. 3 balls and a strike here on Parker Cormack. I'm joined by former big leaguer Billy Sample, a long time with the Texas Rangers, New York Yankees, Atlanta Braves, and then a broadcaster with MLB. This one is a chopper towards 3rd. Johnson's going to have to hurry it, and he will not have a play. He was trying to barehand, and that was his only shot. I don't think he would have had him anyway.
No, I don't think so either. And he rushed it a little bit because he had anticipated he didn't have a lot of time.
Second hit of the season for Parker Cormack. The Gold Panther catcher tonight is now 2 for 13, and that brings up J.T. Arruda. And that was uncharacteristic last night for the Gold Panthers. They've been so clutch this year, always getting that big hit.
Especially with 2 out.
Right, they've been doing that so much, and then yesterday just couldn't get it, and the Waves just a step ahead of Fairbanks all night. The Waves took a 1-0 lead in the 1st inning and a 2-zip lead in the 4th before the solo home run by Jordan Mopas, and Panthers were behind and just kept trying to fight back, but really excellent pitching by the Waves. Kevin Palm finished 5 2/3, 2 runs, just 1 earned, And then Carson Seymour comes in and just shuts down the Panthers the rest of the way and protects that lead. He goes the final 3 1/3. No runs on just 2 hits. And between those two pitchers, just 1 walk in the game. And that's how you win games, by not walking people. Strike is called on JT Arruda in the 7th spot for Fairbanks. Gold Panthers trailing 2-1 here, bottom of the 2nd inning. Always takes the crowd a little while to kind of come alive the day after the Midnight Sun game. Everyone's got that baseball hangover. But the problem with that game was so fast last night, Billy, that the fans were just getting the feel, getting into it, having a few drinks, enjoying themselves, grasping the event, and then the game was over. It was just that quick. Everyone kind of wanted to stay. For a moment, I thought Panthers might be able to make it go extra innings, but again,
that extra run in the 9th really set the 2 teams apart last night.
And that insurance run for the Waves coming in the top of the 9th, when it was a 1-run game before that, and then Mopah scores on a wild pitch with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. And then everyone just said, it's going to be tough. And the Panthers just couldn't do it. Got a base runner in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs, but would not be enough, as they say. Arruda hanging in with 3 balls and 2 strikes. He'll adjust the batting gloves and step back in again. When did batting gloves become a part of the game, Billy?
I think when Ken Hawk Harrelson started wearing golf gloves in the late 1960s, and then the batting glove evolved from that. But Hawk is a tremendous golfer, still is, and he brought that from golf to baseball. I wish I had never worn baseball gloves.
Really? 3-2 pitch, and it's line fair inside the third base bag by Arruda. Cormack headed for third, and he's going to be waved home. Cormack comes home to score. The game is tied at 2. A big RBI double for JT Arruda on a 3-2 pitch.
He seems to find a lot of RBIs and base hits on the left side of the diamond.
Batting .300 this year coming in. That's his 11th run batted in of the season. That's second on the team. Why is it that you regret wearing the gloves?
Because every once in a while the gloves will, or your hand will slip in the glove. And playing in a warm weather climate, as I did most of my career in Texas, it would happen maybe a couple of times. But it's still those times where you think, I could have hit that a little better if my hands hadn't slipped.
That's funny because former Gold Panther head coach and NAIA Hall of Fame coach Ed Sheff would not allow his players to wear batting gloves here or at Lewis Clark State, where he coached. This ball's fouled off.
I'm with you, Ed. But I think initially I wore them because we were opening up the season in Detroit, and we were sleeted out of the first game. And the second game, I'm going to tell you how cold it was. I couldn't feel the bat in my hand, so I decided to start wearing gloves in the colder climate, and wish I hadn't.
Ross with a ball and a strike against Tanner Roberts, and Ross gets hit in the back.
Yeah, curveball that didn't curve.
And just floated in on Ross. He just turned, got him between the shoulder blades. 3 straight have reached base after the flyout of Coring. And now the Panthers with a chance to take the lead. 2-2 ball game. Arruda at second base, and Ross is at first, and brings up Rafe Chomet. Chomet had an opportunity in that game last night. He came in as a pinch hitter. With a runner at second base and 2 outs in the 8th inning, but grounded out to second. Broken bat, little flare that's going to land, but it's trouble because it's right next to second base, and it turns into a double play.
You're thinking he has way too much speed to be doubled up, and sure enough, in fact, they could have gotten out at third because the runner at second had to wait to see whether or not it was going to be caught.
Stays 2-2. Gold Panthers tie it up. We'll be back to Groudon in just a minute.